Sage steps are short, powerful practices that help you shift from saboteur to sage in real time. Catching and naming your saboteur interrupts its influence, and celebrating that moment reinforces the mental shift from negative to positive. Hi, I'm Felicia Lonobile, and I am a mental fitness coach. And today, I want to share 3 out of 10 saboteurs hijacking us every step of the way. So, the first saboteur that I want to talk to you about is the avoider. Now, the avoider is very good in avoiding situations, circumstances, conversations. The saboteurs tells them that the best solution for this current situation is to look the other way, is to procrastinate, is to don't worry about it, it'll fix itself, you don't have to get involved. Whereas the avoider's sage step is to take the first small step possible. In doing so, you're giving yourself a command to not necessarily listen to that inner critic or the voice in the head that's telling you otherwise, but to take that first small step and celebrating the moment. When you take the time to push yourself and take that first step, whatever it may be, no matter how small it is, and then celebrating that win, you in that moment are weakening your saboteur and strengthening your sage region of the brain. And over time, you will find yourself operating more from sage and less from saboteur. Another saboteur is the victim. It's a pretty common one. People feeling victimized or regularly in victimhood. The sage step for someone who feels that they are a victim in a situation, circumstance, whatever it may be, is to give themselves a loving hug. Giving yourself the love that you deserve and merit. And when I say giving yourself a hug, I don't mean it to be just in the mind, yeah, okay, I love myself. I mean, feel that self-love, that unconditional love, viscerally and readily throughout your whole body. Because that's who you are at your core. You are pure love. And the more you give yourself these loving hugs, you are now weakening your saboteur's influence and strengthening your sage region of the brain. You are taking back your control. You are, in a way, returning home. Where is home? Your sage essence. Another saboteur that I'm going to share with you is the stickler. Meaning, is something 20% good enough and accept it? Or does it have to be 100% perfect? Because a stickler is someone who's organized, who's meticulous. Everything has to be in order, very orderly, and it has to be, most importantly, perfect. And so we get lost in the influence of our saboteur. So an example would be if you're creating a PowerPoint slide, let's say. The content in your PowerPoint slide is mind-blowing. You know at a gut level that this PowerPoint slide will definitely help someone. You have potential content that can change lives. But then the stickler saboteur kicks in and points you to the font. Now look at that. The font perhaps is not the right size. So my question to you is to be able to notice when you're being hijacked by your saboteur. If you look at the PowerPoint slide in its entirety, is it 20% good enough? Will your message be heard? If the answer is yes, then 20% is good enough. Where you need something to be 100% good, perhaps is when you're dealing with income taxes, accounting, making sure that your bills are being paid. Perhaps in that situation, 100% is required, but it's not required in everything. When that happens in a stickler, they are draining themselves, pushing themselves to make sure that everything is 100% perfect. And so the sage step for a stickler is looking at your situation. You're having a conversation, you're doing a presentation, you're on the phone with whatever it is, to ask yourself, is 20% good enough for what I'm doing right now? And when you tell yourself that it is, in that moment, you caught your saboteur. And that's when you celebrate the moment. And every time you do that, you weaken your saboteur and strengthen your sage region of the brain.